I am repeating the verse 61. Tani sarvani samyamya
तानि सर्वाणि संयम्य
yukta asita matparaha
युक्त आसीत मत्परः
vashehi yas endriyani
वशे हि यस्येन्द्रियाणि
tasya prajna pratishtita.
तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता।
ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः
ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः
सङ्गस्तेषूपजायते
सङ्गस्तेषुपजायते
सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः
सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः
कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते
कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते
क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः
क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः
सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः
सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः
स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः
स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः
बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति.
बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति।
As we have seen, these two verses 62 and 63 are to be read in together in conjunction because its basic thought continues. For a person who is focused on objects, objects also means objects, persons, situations, events, anything. Attachment in them arises. Attachment, constant attachment leads to desire. And desire, if it is unfulfilled, unfulfilled desire leads to anger. And this anger will next lead to delusion. Delusion means you get deluded. Delusion means seeing what is not there. What is not there, you are seeing. Moham antam మనం. What is not there, we think it is there. And what is there before us, we are not able to accept it. This is called delusion. So this delusion leads to confusion of memory. That means we seem to forget. We seem to forget what all has happened to us. All the good things that happened to us, we may tend to ignore and tend to forget. Then next step will be loss of intellect. That is discriminating faculty. Discriminating between what is right, what is wrong, what is dharma, what is adharma. All our scriptures, especially Ramayana, it talks only of, tries to explain to us what is dharma everywhere. For example, just now today morning I was reading Ayodhya Kanda. So entire Ayodhya Kanda helps us to understand what is dharma and importance of truth. That is why always Rama is called Satya Dharma Parakramaha. So dharma is seen from different angles. Bharata will look at dharma at one point of view. Rama talks of dharma another point of view. There is no conflict. But the greatest thing is it elevates both of them. Both Rama and Bharata get elevated in high spiritual plane because they are adherence to dharma. So this, if you don't know what is dharma, what is adharma, then we commit what is called sin, papa, which will lead to misery. So best thing is don't worry, don't think too much of objects with which you are not concerned. That is the simplest method. Don't forget, even if you see and forget. Maybe event, maybe good or bad. If some bad thing has happened to you in the past, okay, forget about it. Why do you keep on thinking? Or suppose something has happened good to you, you got a lottery somewhere, but don't think you're going to get it every day. Don't think of that. So this is the crux of these two verses, which are very, very important. Now, how to attain this is given. How to keep away from this, the next verse 64 tells us. Ragadvesha vimuktaihi.
रागद्वेष विमुक्तैः
Madam, volume is not coming. Ragadvesha viyuktaistu. మేడం మీరు చెప్తారా అన్నపూర్ణ గారు? Okay, okay,
రాగద్వేష can you hear me?
Yeah, now it is okay. అన్నపూర్ణ గారు మీరు ఉండండి, మళ్ళీ చెప్పండి ఇప్పుడు. రాగద్వేష విముక్తైస్తు.
రాగద్వే go ahead అన్నపూర్ణ గారు.
చెప్పండి.
పర్వాలేదు, వన్ ఆఫ్ యూ.
రాగద్వేష విముక్తైస్తు
విషయాన్ ఇంద్రియైః చరన్.
విషయాన్ ఇంద్రియైశ్చరన్
ఆత్మవశ్యైః విధేయాత్మా.
ఆత్మవైష్టైః విధేయాత్మా
ప్రసాదం అధిగచ్చతి.
ప్రసాదం అధిగచ్చతి.
So this is the actually meaning of the article which we read now. It says Vishayan Indriyaihi Charan. Indriya Vishaihi, sense objects. You move around. Don't keep away from that. You be part of the world. You look at everything which is happening, mix with people. You see everything around. But Raga Dvesha Vivyuktaihi, free from Raga and Dvesha. Raga is liking, Dvesha is not liking. Raga is attachment, Dvesha is hating. Without this, Raga Dvesha Viyuktaihi means freed from. Atmavashyaihi, self-control. Vidheyatma, then prasadam. Prasadam means peace, a state of peace. Adhigacchati, you will attain. That's what he's trying to say. So it is a contrast to the person described in the previous two verses. 62-63 talks of a person who is not able to control himself, runs after objects, becomes a slave to desire not fulfilled, get angry, forget everything, and loses his intellect and gets destroyed. Now this is a contrast to that. As a contrast to that, a vidheyatma means a person who is self-controlled person. What the difference between them? The difference is only this. He is free from likes and dislikes. Undue likes and dislikes, he is free from that. And because of this, he is able to keep his senses under his control. Although, even after moving around the objects, he is not wearing any saffron clothes. He is not renouncing the world. He is not deserting the wife and children. He is part of society. He is very, very active householder. But in spite of that, because he has the likes and dislikes are under control, senses are under control, he is able to manage. He does not fall prey to all those things. So here, self-control, it keeps on repeating, same thing is repeated. Self-control does not mean giving up either possession or enjoyment of the sense objects. You don't have to give away in charity all your property, etc. Nobody is telling that. Possessions is not the issue. But don't be possessive. Don't think that is going to be ever with me. It will come with me when I leave this world. Don't have that foolish idea. You are a tenant. They are available with you. As long as you make proper use of it. That's all. Not more than that. You are not the owner in the world. You are a tenant in this world. That feeling you have, then you will not have this, what is called possessiveness. Should not have possessiveness. That is the one which creates all types of problems. That is what the right approach is. Intelligent person, intelligent use, and even enjoyment of the senses, but subject to maintaining mastery over the sense objects and not becoming a slave to enchanting power. That's why always they say money should be your slave. You should not become slave to the money. Don't allow the money or property or wealth to control you. You keep it under your thumb. You keep it under control. Make proper use of it. That is what it says. Then you can say you have a control. That is called Atma Vashaihi, Vidheyatma. Ragadvesha Vivuktaistu.
रागद्वेषविमुक्तैस्तु
विषयानिन्द्रियैश्चरन्
विषयान् इन्द्रियैश्चरन्
आत्मवश्यैर्विधेयात्मा
वैष्टैर्विधेयात्मा
only the ra sound will come, r sound come. Atmavashairvidheyatma
आत्मवैश्यैर्विधेयात्मा
prasadamadigatchati.
प्रसादमधिगच्छति.
Now it shows the consequences of that one by one. It will show you now. What is the advantage of getting this peace of mind? It says by keeping the desires under control, being a Vidheyatma, you are able to attain what is called state of happiness, prasada. Now, because of prasada, what happens? It tells you now. Prasade sarva dukkhanam.
प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां
Hanihi asya upajayate.
हानिः अस्य उपजायते.
That means prasade hanihi sarva dukkhanam upajayate. That's the meaning of that. Sarva dukkhanam, all your problems, hanihi upajayate. That means they will be destroyed. If you have that, attain the state of peace, then all problems are gone. Sarva dukkhanam. Prasade sarva dukkhanam.
प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां
Hanirasyopajayate.
हानिरस्योपजायते.
Prasanna chetasaha hi ashu.
प्रसन्नचेतसः हि आशु
Buddhihi paryavatistate.
बुद्धिः पर्यवतिष्ठते.
Prasanna chetasaha means a happy man, tranquil minded man. If the mind is at peace, then what happens is his intellect also becomes steady. So they're giving you how you control the likes and dislikes. If you control likes and dislikes, you are able to control your emotions, control your senses, and you get a state of a happiness. In that state of happiness, all problems, all sorrows are destroyed. Mind becomes peaceful. If the mind becomes not only peace, it's called tranquil. Mind becomes tranquil. Then intellect also becomes steady. All these are related issues they are trying to say. With peace of mind, destruction of all sorrows takes place. The intellect of such a tranquil minded person will become steady. Because all these things lead to, these are not necessary for, I'm not saying they're steps of meditation. This is not the path. This is the goal. Happiness, peace of mind, control intellect, that itself is the goal. That itself is Paramatma. That itself is Brahman. So that is why in our all our teachings, including Vishnu Sahasranama, Ramo, Viramo, Virataka, Margo, Neyo, Nayo, Nayaha. You see, what does it say? Ramaha, Viramaha, Ramo, Viramo, Margo, Neyo, Nayo, Nayaha. See, what is Rama? Rama is not only the goal, but Rama is the path. Rama is the destination. Rama is the leader. Rama is the person who is actually led. That means you follow Rama's path, you also become Rama. The very journey itself you get pleasure. So you don't have to worry about mujhe moksha kab milega, when I will get that. No, you're already on the path. And your right path itself is moksha, nothing else. That's what it tries to say. Now, the reasons for sorrows, we can see, it can be different. Lack of power for a politician, lack of job for an unemployed person, lack of a beloved for a lover, lack of a toy for a child. It can be anything. But all these are only to that person, it is a source of great sorrow. What about happiness? Happiness is peace of mind. For peace of mind, you don't require any reason. They're very interesting to note. For sorrow, you require a reason. You can say why you are unhappy, you can say. Why you are unhappy, you can say because I don't have this, I'm not getting this. or somebody has troubled me. But suppose somebody say, why are you happy? There is no reason for happiness. That is because basically you are happy. You are born happy. Your what is called Antaratma is always peaceful, is always happy. That happiness is covered by something else. That's why we say unhappy. Unhappy में happy built in है. Remove the negative un, you get happiness. Asantosham, remove the negative, you get santosham. Because santosham and happiness, you don't have to get anywhere. It's already in you. So that's why they say happiness is just absence of sorrow. Peace is just absence of tension. Happiness, peace of mind is our internal, is a sort of a default condition. So there is a reason for unhappiness. That is running after objects. If you give up that, then reason for unhappiness will go. Automatically, you are happy. Once sorrow and tension go away, the inherent happiness in us will shine forth. Now, you can even express this happy. There is what is called a happiness index. How happy you are. I can experiment. I can measure as a numerical figure. I can give a ratio. Happiness equal to, this is what Swami Parsadi has given. Happiness equal to number of desires fulfilled by number of desires entertained. Suppose you have 100 desires, 50 are fulfilled. You are 50% happy. Is it not? So how to make them full happy? Either to ensure that all 100 desires are fulfilled, so 100 by 100 equal to 1, or reduce the desires to 50. 50 by 50 is also equal to 1. So if you want to get full happiness, since you cannot ensure every desire is fulfilled, it is more practical, sensible to have limited number of desires. If your desires are limited and reasonable, then automatically you will be more happy. So that is what this particular verse is teaching us. Prasade sarva dukkhanam
Prasade sarva dukkhanam
hanirasyopajayate
hanirasyopajayate
prasanna chetaso hyashu
prasanna chetaso hyasu
buddhi paryavatishtate.
buddhihi paryavatishtate.
Now, this is what is called buddhi, means intellect, proper intellect. That is discrimination. It keeps on repeating. Buddhi, intellect means capacity to differentiate between good and bad. Vichakshana gnanamu antam. Vichakshana shakti antam. ఇది లేనివాడు వాణ్ణి అబుద్ధయ అంటాం. ఉన్నవాడు బుద్ధిమంతుడు, లేనివాడు మూఢుడు అంటాం. Now you can see the contrast. They will show you. Nasti buddhirayuktasya.
Nasti buddhirayuktasya.
Nasti buddhihi ayuktasya.
Nasti buddhihi ayuktasya.
Yukta, yoga. Yuktasya means a person who is steady. A person who is steady, a person who is keeping his sense under control, he is called yuktaha. Ayuktaha means one who does not keep under sense under control is ayuktaha. So ayuktaha buddhihi na asti. A person who does not keep himself under control, he has no proper intellect. That is what he is trying to say. Na asti buddhihi ayuktasya.
Na asti buddhihi ayuktasya.
Na cha ayuktasya bhavana.
Na cha ayuktasya bhavana.
So the ayuktasya means a person who is unsteady. Such a person will have neither intellect nor he is capable of meditation. Now the verse is asking us, if you don't have this, how will you get peace of mind? Nacha abhavayata shantihi.
Nacha abhavayataha shantihi.
Ashantasya kutaha sukham.
Ashantasya kutaha sukham.
Now you can see the meanings. very nice words. Ayuktasya buddhihi na asti. For an unsteady person, there is no knowledge. That means he does not have proper intellect. Ayuktasya bhavana na cha. For an unsteady person, there is also no meditation, no capacity for meditation. Abhavayataya shantihi na. For a person who cannot meditate, who cannot be steady, there is no peace. Ashantasya kutaha sukham. The question is, a person, suppose you don't have peace, how can there be happiness? We see around us, when we don't have some peace of mind, we are unhappy. So unhappiness is because of lack of peace of mind. Lack of peace of mind because of a instability. That is what this verse is telling us. 4 parts are there. This verse has 4 parts. You can see clearly. Yuktaha, a
Annapurna
steady
garu,
person.
please.
Yuktaha means a steady person. A steady person has senses under control. He is not a slave of the senses, but he is their master. He has a steady and higher goal in life. He is devoted to the supreme. Now, all his actions are controlled by his intellect. The intellect controls his likes and dislikes and guides his senses. His mind is peaceful, intellect is sharp. Now, it is like a person, like a school. In a school, we are students, we have teachers, we are the headmaster. Now, who should guide whom? Who should control whom? The principal should guide the teachers, the teacher should guide the students. But suppose the students are unruly, students are dictating terms to the teachers, and teachers go and say to the principal, we will not listen to you, then what happens? 3 layers are there. Our senses, our mind, our intellect. Our intellect must guide the mind. Mind should control senses. But actually, what happens in the common world is ayuktaha, an unsteady person. In unsteady person, what happens is likes and dislikes. They are very strong. They decide what the senses will do. They will make you run in all directions. Likes and dislikes make you run in wrong directions. And by doing that, your mind is becoming slave to the senses. And senses are not under control of the intellect. So ayuktaha, the contrast is shown here. So it is telling you what happens here. Nasti buddhira yuktasya
Nasti buddhirayuktasya
nacha yuktasya bhavana
nacha yuktasya bhavana
nacha bhavayataka shantihi
nacha bhavayatah shantihi
ashantasya kuta sukham.
ashantasya kutah sukham.
They're asking question, but the meaning is very clear. That means a person who has no peace of mind will have no happiness at all. This is the actual implication of this. We have finished 6 verses today in the first part. So we'll give a break here.
Thank you. Thank you, Gopinath.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.